Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So this is a video about the pricing of Origin Axies. So I've got quite interested in pricing of Axies over the last couple of months and been doing some very basic research. But this is the marketplace, so this is the in-house marketplace for Axie Infinity, where you can trade these Axies. You can obviously trade them on other third-party marketplaces on Ethereum, but this is I think where most of the trading goes on, and this is where I've kind of been taking my data from. So what I've been looking at, or what I'm looking at in this video, is the price of the Origin Axies. So you can see here there's some basic filters on the left hand side that you can filter through. And actually I'm filtering here on the right hand side on by the lowest price, but I'm looking at the Origin Axies. So Origin Axies are a particular type of Axies. There's only can only be 4,800 ever created. So at the moment we're up to 3,802, so potentially 1,000 to go, although it's not guaranteed there's going to be 4,000. Actually no, it's 4,088, so we've only got 300 to go, but it's not guaranteed that that there will actually be that many. Depends how the breeding happens. So Origin Axies are a particular kind of sort of Axie, and we're starting to see them become like an investment kind of a grade NFT, like we've seen a little bit with things like CryptoPunks, and some other NFTs in there. You kind of start to see a certain type of NFT in a game or a project. People start to come in, and that's become something they buy, not because they're going to play the game with it or use it in the project, but because they just want to own one. So we're seeing that a little bit, I think, with these Origin Axies. You can obviously use them in the game, but the value of them is not really predicated on how they work in the game. It's more than that. I guess just for disclosure, I should say I've got a few Origin ones. I guess that's kind of where my interest comes from to some degree. Should point out this is not investment advice, so this is just kind of interesting. So this is where we can see like the cheapest Origin Axie at the moment is 1.075 ETH, and that is $657.21. We can kind of see the range of how the pricing kind of goes. So the cheapest one is there, and you know, the price obviously goes up from there until we have ones. I mean, you can see basically people are pricing these. If you want to sell one now, you have to sell it at probably 0.1. So if someone's really keen to offload a Origin Axie, then you're gonna have to price lower than the current lowest price probably, unless people are looking for particular attributes, which in this case I don't really think they are. We can see the price. You know, these ones are priced to sell, and there's other people here who are going. You know, there's a big jump here from 1.267 to 1.4. So we're jumping almost $80 there in price. So let's go and have a look at the trends that I've been looking at. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is the price of the cheapest Origin Axies. So what we're just looking at, and various data points. Not a vast amount of data really. As I say, this is only a kind of preliminary look at what's going on. And what I've done here is I've taken the price in dollars of the cheapest Origin individual, which is in red, and then the blue dot is the cheapest, the average of the cheapest 5 Axies. So obviously, if the cheapest 5 Axies were priced at the same as the cheapest Origin, the blue dot and the red dot will be the same. But we get some idea of kind of whether people are just trying to sell off an Axie really quickly, in which case there would be, you know, a big gap between the two, or whether the kind of price of at least the top 5 and the cheapest one are broadly the same. So we can kind of get an idea of that. Obviously it changes, so there's not anything particularly, we can't make any conclusion particularly around that. What we can see is the trend lines. So the price of the cheapest Origin and the average price of the cheapest 5 Origins is, you know, pretty much in parallel. So there's not been a lot of divergence. So we're not seeing people we're not seeing very cheap ones that people are just trying to sell off, and the other one's more expensive really. The price of both has been around the same, and we can see here, you know, the price of the cheapest one, you know, on terms of this range line at least, or even here, we have back in late October, you could buy the cheapest Origin you could buy was was at about 550, and now, as we just saw, the cheapest one is now probably 650. So the price is, this is a 2-month period. The price is going up fairly quickly. So what do we have here? So this is looking at the price of the cheapest breed 0 Axie. So it's the cheapest origin Axie which has a breed 0. So the breed 0 ones they're basically they're virgin Axies. They've never been bred. That can be the higher up, the lower the breeding number, the cheaper they are to breed. But at this kind of level, when people are spending this sort of money, it doesn't really matter because people aren't really using them in the game. But the idea of the breeding 0 number is that they're kind of like box fresh ones, or the ones they're. Okay, the digital items. It doesn't really matter if they have one if they've been bred a few times. But the idea is, if you're going to buy the pristine one, there should be some sort of price premium to a breed 0. So we can see here again we've got the cheapest origin breed 0 in red, and then we have the average of the cheapest 5 in blue. And we can see here again there's quite a difference in range. So here in late October. The price is high, and the price of both of them is quite close. We can see over time this gap gets bigger, and that means that the cheapest one is being sold to at a lower price to kind of drive sales. So there are people who so people so getting this one, this is a good bargain. If you got that one for $500, that was a good bargain because it's we can see generally the price is much higher. But what's interesting here is, I guess, the blue line, which is the price of the average 5 cheapest, up here about 800, is kind of about the same. It doesn't really move around. So on any day it may be up or down, but I'm looking at trend lines here. So not a lot going on, But with the red line here, this is the cheapest origin breed 0. Is the price is actually going down on these. So this, I think, is happening because people are pricing these to sell. So not all the time, but obviously when these ones, when someone comes in and sells one for 500, or is looking to sell one for 500, that sells quite quickly. So kind of the next day, the cheapest one is much higher. So you kind of go through these cycles. I think a little bit of people desperate to sell, and then the price goes up. But we can kind of see there's always, even here in December, again, it's not a long period of time, but people are pricing these to sell, and we can see here on this blue dot, the rest of those origin breed 0 Axies are a lot higher. I mean, that's a big difference. So someone's trying to price that one, get that one sold, and there are some people who have a lot of origin breed 0 Axies just sitting around. They maybe got them a year ago or something, because the price of these has gone up a lot in the past few months. So this is people, I think, trying to cash in. Obviously, there's a certain amount of supply for that, of people just trying to cash in. So the price hasn't collapsed, but the price is divergent from what the kind of, and this is slightly upward actually, but broadly the same. But also we can see here, this is looking at this is combining the graph, combining the kind of attributes. So the red one here is the cheapest origin Axie. So this is the cheapest origin you can buy. Again, this is the range. This is the average of the 5 cheapest ones. So we're just looking at the kind of average of the 5 cheapest ones. And we can see here when it comes to that, the price is going up quite steadily on that. The price of the cheapest origin breed 0, cheapest 5, as we looked at, is kind of broadly the same. So the price of these origin ones is going up. So we're about $500 and whatever dollars up to over $700 now for the average. So there's definitely demand here. People are wanting to buy these cheapest ones. But I guess what's interesting about this graph is that we have here the cheapest ones. So this could be a breed 7, a breed 6, a breed 4, whatever. And in blue we have the breed 1. So they're kind of the premium. The idea that there's a premium around this. There is a premium because we can see these lines are separated, but we can see the premium seems to be declining. So the premium pricing that we had for a breed 0 origin, like a virgin origin Axie, has declined. It seems like people are just like, I really want to get an origin Axie. I don't really care. Probably people not even quite sure what the breed 0 is, unless you have to go into the game and understand that. So we see this premium drop. There is still a premium, so So it's not like the breed zero it means nothing. But we can see what the trend, at least over the last 2 months, has been, that people are valuing this thing left. And I think generally this is what we're kind of seeing across Axie Infinity. We're seeing, because as it gets more coverage, people are coming in to buy these NFTs. At this high level, they're not buying them to want to play the game necessarily. They're buying these because they see NFTs prices in general going up. So they don't care too much. And obviously there is a big difference between spending $500 on something and $800 on something. So obviously in terms of kind of classic kind of capitalist pricing mechanics, some people won't be able to buy these expensive ones, so they'll buy up the cheaper ones, even though they're kind of not quite as good. But we see over time that these two are converging. It'll be interesting to see. Certainly I'll be looking to do more research on this. And conversely, if you look at a previous video that I did, at the other end, the price of the cheapest Axies. So you need 3 Axies to play the game. The price of those is going up as well. So we start to see, it's kind of interesting to see how the price of some Axies is going up, and the price of actually some is going down. So there's quite a lot of different movement at the different kind of strata levels. Now, obviously, I say I've not got vast amounts of data, so it could just be artifacts in the data. Definitely, that could be the case. But there seems to be a logic in my head that explains what's going on. Obviously, I'll do more, take more data over the coming months and see what happens. Anyway, hope you kind of find this stuff interesting. If you do, please subscribe to the channel. But thanks for watching, and hope to see you again soon.